The Honorable gentleman from the Dichan Ramain, Lanao del Sur, Zia Alonto Adjong is recognized.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Thank you, Majority Leader. Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Your Honors,
Speaker.
I am now ready.
The Secretary General is directed to read the title of House Bill number 8389.
House Bill 8389, an act prohibiting political dynasties in national and local elective offices.
Majority Leader.
Status is under period of sponsorship and debate, Mr. Speaker. And with that, we would like to recognize the representative Zia Alonto Adjong at the 1st District of Lanao del Sur.
The Honorable Zia Alonto Adjong is recognized.
Thank you very much, Majority Leader. Mr. Speaker, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I'm now ready, Mr. Speaker, to welcome and respond to questions and inquiries on the floor.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we recognize the Honorable Percy Sandanyas for his interpellation.
The Honorable Percy Sindanya of the Bayan Party List is recognized. Please proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As the distinguished sponsor already expressed his willingness to respond to questions from this representation, I'd like to go to my first question for this afternoon. Sa ngayon po, maraming nanonood sa atin sa buong bansa dito sa House of Representatives kasi nga po excited sila kung ano ang kakahinatnan ng panukalang batas na ito na matagal na nating hinihintay at matagal na nating pinapanawagan. Mr. Speaker, distinguished sponsor, ano po ang tingin nyo dadahilan ng ating mga constitutional framers sa paglalagay ng probisyon sa ating konstitusyon na pinagbabawal ang political dynasty?
Well, unang-una po, Madam Speaker, Your Honor, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, is iniiwasan po yung monopoly ng power ng bawat munisipyo, bawat local government units. Pangalawa, yung para ma-promote po yung check and balances and accountability para hindi po magkaroon ng concentration ng sinasabi pong domination, concentration ng power ng isang pamilya na maaaring maging sanhi po ito as collision na mag-interfere po doon sa internal resources ng isang local government unit, Mr. Speaker. Among other things, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, during the 1987 Constitutional Commission's debates, si Commissioner Vicente Foz proposed and suggested a specific provision banning political dynasties. Also, during the deliberations, he said, the idea of prohibition against the rise of political dynasties is essentially to prevent one family from controlling political power as against the democratic idea that political power should be dispersed as much as possible among our people. In short, reading into the remarks of Commissioner Vicente Foz, the constitutional framers included this provision to prevent the monopolization and concentration of power within families. Sa Tagalog po, ayaw nila ng swapang at ganid sa kapangyarihan. Mr. Speaker, ayon po ba ang ating kagalang-galang na sponsor na kung may magkapatid na nakaupo sa magkaparehong posisyon ay nagmo-monopolize po ito ng kapangyarihan? For example, kagabi po sa isang tweet na basa ko, bakit kasi dala-dalawa ang Cayetano at Villar sa Senado? Pilipinas forever maghihirap. Again, that's an actual tweet that was posted last night. Again, the question is, sang-ayon po ba kayo na kapag magkapatid na nakaupo sa magkaparehong posisyon ay magmo-monopolize ito ng kapangyarihan, Mr. Speaker?
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, let me go back to since ang aking kagalang-galang kasamahan na minention po a transcript ng deliberation ng 1987 Philippine Constitution, doon po sa mga diskusyon nila nung kailan po dina-draft itong Constitution sa Ligang Batas na po ito. Gusto ko lang pong ipahiwatig also that yung sinasabi po ng ating mga framers na prohibition, it's actually according also to Delegate Ms. Noledo, and he has repeatedly mentioned this during their deliberation on the proposed insertion of the anti-political dynasty in the Constitution, that the constitutional provision explained that the prohibition does not actually mean as it is, but rather it's only a regulation. So ibig sabihin, maglalagay po tayo ng regulasyon para sa tama po yung sinabi ng ating kagalang-galang na kasamahan na magkaroon po ng decentralization of political power within locality na maaaring maapektuhan yung check and balances at yung internal revenue na po pwede pong mapaglagyan at maserbisyuhan ang ating mga constituents. Now, secondly, Madam Speaker, tungkol sa katanungan po niya, magkaiba po yung lugar and constituency because our government structure was designed in such a way that each local government unit also has its own constituency. Then wala ho akong nakikita, halimbawa po, Madam Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, na interference from one locality to another locality kasi bawat isa po ay una, mayroon po silang sariling internal regulation. Ang mayor po, following example ng isang munisipyo, ay hindi po automatically nag-i-intervene sa isang munisipyo na karatigbayan po nito. So it depends on the question, Mr. Speaker, of the good gentleman from Akbayan, because it does not mean that since the same family members would also occupy the similar offices, can actually would be tantamount to actually using these powers in order to gain their own personal interest, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. In many cases, Madam Speaker, and Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, hindi po ganon ang mga experience, hindi po ganon always po, Mr. Speaker, ang resulta. Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, we'll go to that particular part of the discussion later on different localities. But let me focus first on the Senate, for example. Dito po ba sa ating version ngayon ng anti-political dynasty na pinag-uusapan na nakasalang dito sa plenaryo, pinagbabawal po ba ang ganitong pangungopong ng kapangyarihan? Halimbawa, mula sa isang pamilya, magkapatid, mag-ina, mag-ama.
Mr. Speaker, ang konteksto po ng katanungan, kung hindi ako po nagkakamali, pasensya na po kung hindi ko po nasagot diretso po ang katanungan natin kagalang-galang na kasamahan, kung sa Senado ba ito. In most cases, Mr. Speaker, minsan magkakaiba po yung plataforma at advokasya ng bawat isa sa ngayon, Mr. Speaker. It does not necessarily mean that since they are part of a legislative branch, they can automatically also reflect the same advocacy. Minsan po, sa mga nakikita po natin na trend ng botohan, nagkakaiba-iba po sila. So be that as it may, Madam Speaker, Mrs. Speaker, Your Honor, rather, ito pong sa Kongreso, ibig sabihin sa Senado at saka sa House of Representatives, ay ang ating trabaho naman po dito ay legislation. It's a policy making body po ang ating trabaho dito. Wala po tayo doon sa direct na control over certain resources as being enjoyed by local government units, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
So again, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, going back to my question, in the current incarnation of this bill, papayagan po ba ang magkapatid na uupo sa Senado?
Doon sa katanungan po, ito po ay may sa batas po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, hindi na po maaalaw yung within second degree of consanguinity and affinity na maluklok sa isang position, isang locality. In the case of the Senate, halimbawa kasi na-classify siya under national office, ay within second degree of consanguinity and affinity, hindi na po pinapayagan na manilbihan sabay yung magkaparehong apelido or magkamag-anak within that second degree of consanguinity and affinity, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, ibig sabihin po, kung ito ay maaprubahan at maisa sa batas, ang ating kasalukuyang bill na pinag-uusapan ngayon, ibig sabihin, hindi na pwedeng maupo ng sabay ang magkapatid na Cayetano at Villar. Example lang naman po yan, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Sa proposal po na Akbayan Party List, which was eventually, as far as we believe, not integrated fully into the current version, ipagbabawal natin ang pagtakbo at pag-upo ng mga magkakamag-anak hanggang fourth civil degree sa local at sa national. Sang-ayon din po kaya ang kagalang-galang na sponsor na kung tumakbo at manalo ang galing sa isang pamilya, kahit sa magkaibang distrito, probinsya, munisipyo o barangay ng sabay-sabay, ay nagmamonopolize pa rin sila ng political power sa bansa. I believe the Speaker has already, Mr. Speaker, the good sponsor has already made mention of an example in this particular point. But again, just for the record, I'd like to ask the question on the issue of the monopolization of power kapag ang isang pamilya, magkapatid, mag-asawa, mag-ama, mag-ina, ay tumakbo sa magkaibang distrito, magkaibang probinsya, magkaibang barangay ng sabay-sabay. Ito po ba ay tinitingnan pa rin ng ating good sponsor as monopolization and concentration of political power?
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, babalikan po natin kung ano po yung mga constitutional provisions, kung paano po binibigyang halaga yung kapangyarihan po ng bawat distrito at bawat constituency na pumili at tumuklok po sa kanilang nararapat na ihalal bilang isang lingkod bayan, Mr. Speaker, Your Honors. Again, I've been also mentioned this to the previous interpellators, Mr. Speaker, na kailangan ho natin balansehin kung ano po yung sinatawag po nating decongestion of power with that of the sovereign rights of the people to elect their own leaders, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Ito pong pinag-uusapan po nating different constituency, it's based po, I've also, and pardon if I have to keep on, using this as our legal basis for us to determine that there's no actual concentration of power. For example, if two representatives elected with the same family name, elected simultaneously in two different districts, wala pong, para sa akin, wala pong monopilya of power dyan. Dahil unang-una, ang trabaho naman po ng legislation ay, ang trabaho naman po ng membro ng Kongreso ay legislation at wala pong discretionary or any resources that is actually within their disposal as compared to other LGUs that is now being enjoyed by, say for example, local government units heads. Ang sa atin po, nakikita naman po natin, may mga magkakamag-anak po dito sa Kongreso pero magkakaiba po ang kanilang pananaw sa buhay. Minsan ang kanilang boto po sa isang piece of legislation ay hindi po magkakapare-pareho, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. And this is a legislative decision-making body. One or two members cannot entirely affect the outcome of the collective wisdom and collective decision of the entire institution, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, one or two members cannot affect the collective wisdom or decision of a legislative body. Hindi po yan na nakita natin sa Senado nito mga nakarang araw. It just took one or two members of political dynasty to alter the course of history. Just put that on the record, Mr. Speaker. Siguro po, mukhang hindi talaga tayo magkakasundo dito sa reading natin into what we mean by concentration of power. Kaya let me proceed to my next question about the consequences. Ano po kaya ang consequence kapag ang isang bayan ay hawak ng iisang pamilya lamang? Halimbawa, si mayor, tito niya ang vice mayor kasi that's third degree, hindi covered ng kasalukuyang bill that we are deliberating on. At yung mga konsihal naman, pinsan niya sa fourth degree. Parang ang lalabas po, family group chat ang kanilang meeting sa konseho, di po ba?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, but as to the degree of consanguinity, again, we always go back to the decision. I mean, so we always go back to the previous committee hearings that we conducted, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. The reason why we're settling this on second degree of consanguinity and affinity, it's because it would be easier, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. It would have been then be easier for the COMELEC to actually assess and actually review lineage and affiliations between and among individuals who are actually running or seeking an elective office, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. As to whether or not there will be a ban on the certain degree of consanguinity, again, we always remind our colleagues, Mr. Speaker, and Your Honor, that in the case of the 1987 Constitution, Mr. Speaker, in fact, it was admitted, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, by the framers of the Constitution that the original draft and proposal is actually to limit it to say first degree lang po, hindi second degree. The reason why we're doing this is also based on the Pamatong versus COMELEC as ruled by the Supreme Court, since the COMELEC said that it would be a logistical nightmare for us to even expand the degree of consanguinity to third or to fourth degree of consanguinity in every time that we hold the election. And the Pamatong and versus COMELEC ruling of the Supreme Court, logistics is actually one of the basis for COMELEC to consider para po ma-ensure natin na may orderly, may efficient, at may safe na election po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, we are limiting this to the second degree of consanguinity and affinity, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, just another illustration of the consequence. Halimbawa po kung maisabatas ang panukalang ito, ang isang halimbawa pa na nakikita ng ating mga kababayan ay, halimbawa, isa kang kongresista. Tapos yung tito mo naman ay congressman din sa kabilang distrito. Tapos may isa ka pang tito naman na congressman naman sa kabilang probinsya. Parang ang lalabas po kung kanina, family group chat yung konseho, ito naman pong sa kongreso, maaring ang lumabas ay maging family reunion ang ating pong assembleya. Given po na maaari pang magkaroon ng party list naman na kinatawan mula sa inyong pamilya. But that's for another discussion, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Let me go to my last question. Kasi po, laging pinag-uusapan at isang source ng tension sa marami pong usapan dito sa usapin ng anti-political dynasty, yung usapin po ng degree of consanguinity at affinity. Nagtataka lamang po ako kasi yes po ang sagot nyo doon sa tanong ko kanina about the Senate, kung saan bawal yung magkapatid. Bakit po hindi pa natin i-extend ang anti-political dynasty bill sa 3rd, 4th degree sa magkaibang distrito at sa local at sa national ng magkasabay?
Again, Mrs. Speaker, the way it was structured our government and based on district direct representation per district, per constituency, Mrs. Speaker, each district has its own specific constituency, each district has its own unique needs and unique concerns, Mrs. Speaker, Your Honor. And yung pag-alaw po ng ating pag-alaw po na tumakbo, kasi kailangan dalawa po yan eh. Running does not necessarily mean winning an office. Running does not necessarily equate to occupying an office. Kaya nga po, parati po nating sinasabi sa ating mga kagalang-galang na kasamahan, kailangan ho natin talaga balasin itong prohibition with the right to suffrage because we are a Republican state and democracy, Mrs. Speaker, Your Honor, resides within the will of the people. So sila po yung namimili. In fact, Mrs. Speaker, Your Honor, marami pong cases wherein political dynasty have already been outvoted, Mrs. Speaker, Your Honor. So, ibig sabihin, we need to balance it out between the intention of the Constitution, which is to regulate political dynasty in order to decongest the monopoly, decongest power, or avoid the buildup of power, and as well as to caution us, Mrs. Speaker, Your Honor, of balancing it out with the right to suffrage. Because if we actually do something that would, trample down the preferential right, which according to many international treaties, the right to suffrage is actually a preferential right. It's the foundation of a republican state. So we need to balance it out. Since our government is designed per constituency, Mrs. Speaker, Your Honor, as also very much well reflected in our local government code, Mrs. Speaker, Your Honor, talagang babalansihin po natin yon. Inaalaw po natin na tumakbo, pero hindi po nangangahulugan na kahit tumatakbo ito is automatic mananalo. Kaya yun po ang gusto nating i-explain sa ating mga kababayan that running, seeking an office, which is actually a primordial right because the right to elect and the right to vote and to be voted upon cannot be appreciated separately. It has to be appreciated as a whole, Mrs. Speaker, Your Honor. And so that right must also be protected and must also be balanced with the intention of the Constitution, which is to decongest the monopoly of power that may be exercised or enjoyed by a certain family within a specific locality, Mrs. Speaker, Your Honor.
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, I'd like to go back to the prior point on the issue of concentration of power. And I'd like to end this exchange with a good sponsor, again, by reminding us of what Commissioner Vicente Foss said during the deliberations. Sabi niya, the idea of a prohibition against the rise of political dynasties is essentially to prevent one family from controlling political power as against a democratic idea that political power should be dispersed as much as possible among our people. Kami po sa Akbayan, hindi namin nakikita na itong current version will measure up to these ideals mentioned by the good Commissioner Foss. And Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, if I may, just for a closing manifestation, tandaan po natin, ito man nangyari itong nakaraang linggo, lalong-lalo na yung nangyari sa Senado, kung walang political dynasties, di sana naiwasan ang Senate primetime bida. Lahat po yan, may elements ng drama, betrayal, action. Ang starring mga pamilya nagkakampihan para sa posisyon as lead characters. Imbes na napilitan ng buong bansa na manood ng teleserye live action sa Senate last week, natalakay sana ng Senado ang mga mahalagang panukalang batas na mas kinakailangan ngayon ng mga Pilipino. Mr. Speaker, nagiging volatile ang isang democratic institution kagaya ng Senado kung nakabase ang rigidong ng kapangyarihan sa iilang apelyido lamang. Hindi sa tunggalian ng prinsipyo, hindi sa integridad ng mga politiko, at masalong hindi sa kapakanan ng taong bayan. And after this process, Mr. Speaker, sigurado po ako, kung ito man ang pumasang panukalang batas, our people will still yearn for a real and truly meaningful anti-political dynasty legislation. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, Ginoong Sponsor.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize Representative Antonio El Tino of Party List ACT Teachers for his interpellation.
The Honorable Antonio Tino of the ACT Teachers Party List is recognized.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, magandang hapon po sa kagalang-galang na sponsor. Ay ilang mga katanungan po. Mr. Speaker, marami na pong nasabi tungkol sa mga problema sa nakasalang na bill, no, na hindi ito yung inaasahan ng mga kababayan natin pag sinabing anti-dynasty bill. No, dahil again, marami nang nagpaliwanag na pinapahintulutan nito, may pinagbabawal na tipo ng dynasty pero may pinapahintulutan din, no? At tama po ba, Mr. Sponsor, ginoong sponsor, sa esensya ay, yun na nga, katulad ng sinabi ng marami, pinapahintulutan nito ang tawagin natin extensive dynasties. Dahil pwedeng sabay-sabay sa ilalim ng panukalang ito, sabay-sabay ang isang pamilya o isang magkakamag-anak na sabay na umupo sa national at sa local, at kung sa local man, pwedeng sabay basta magkahiwalay ng governmental unit. Hindi po ba ganon, Mr. Speaker, ginoong sponsor?
Yes po, Mr. Speaker, hindi ho natin tinatanggal yung kapangyarihan ng bawat LGUs or jurisdictional component po ng subdivision ng ating gobyerno na humalal o maghalal ng mga kandidato, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Pwede po bang maipaliwanag ng sponsor kung ano yung rationale or thinking behind this proposal? Kasi marami pong ibang mga kasabay na proposal nito na umabot sa committee. Ang pinagbabawal, hindi lang yung pagsabay-sabay na magkakamag-anak sa loob halimbawa ng isang LGU, halimbawa sa isang munisipyo or sa isang syudad, pinagbabawal, no, na magsabay na maupo ang mayor at saka halimbawa konsehal na magkakamag-anak. Bawal yon. Pero bawal din na mayor sa isang bayan, mayor sa kabilang bayan na magkamag-anak, sa ibang bill bawal yon. Pero dito sa bill na to, hindi bawal. Ano po yung rationale? Ano yung explanation kung bakit ganito ang inaprubahan at nire-recommenda ngayon ng komite sa plenaryo?
Well, una po, meron pa po tayong legal na basihan tungkol po dito. Nandyan na po sa ating konstitusyon. Parati ko pong nami-mention ito sa ating mga nauna pong mga interpellators. Unang-una po, nandyan po yung sa nandyan po dun sa declaration ng state policies ng ating saligang batas na nagsasabing lahat po pagdating po sa issue ng human rights, dahil ito pong right to suffrage ay hindi lang po civil and political rights, ito po ay issue ng human rights. Pagdating po sa human rights, lalong itong issue ng suffrage ay human rights, at ito po yung basihan kung bakit natatawag po natin ang ating bansa na demokrasya. Dahil malaya pong pumipili yung ating mga kasama, ating mga electorate na pumili ng kanilang magiging pinuno. Yun pong isang basihan. Ang pangalawang basihan po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, is that ang pagka-structure at pag-design po sa ating gobyerno, struktura ng ating gobyerno, ay magkakaiba-iba po ng constituency at magkakaiba-iba po ng jurisdiction. May isa pong division ng subdivision ng isang munisipyo na hindi automatic maaaring mag-intervene ng ibang munisipyo. So ang sinasabi po natin dito, yung rule ay yung principle na right to elect and to be elected, alam naman po na ating kasamahan yan, ay supreme po ito. Na supreme po ito po yung sinasabi po nilang preferential right. In fact, sa Constitution, meron pong specific na artikulo dyan sa ating saligang batas na nagsasabi yung right to yung suffrage po. Ibig sabihin, yung inaalaw po natin yung mga electorate, yung mga kandidato na tumakbo na magkakaiba-iba ang kanilang jurisdiction na wala namang intervention one jurisdiction over the other dahil ang issue po doon actually is the right to be elected upon and not the actual occupation of an office, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Ang sinasabi po naman talaga natin dito ay hindi dapat magkaroon ng monopolya ng kapangyarihan within locality at na to a point, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, na po pwedeng matreten po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, yung sinasabi nating check and balances ng isang LGU, isang jurisdiction na ito naman po taliwas doon sa sinasabi nating principle na accountability, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. So simple lang po yung nais po nating ipahiwatig dito sa ating mga kasamahan na ito pong anti-political dynasty version po nitong panukalang batas na ito ay para tugunin po yung sinasabi mo nating monopoly of power within one particular locality, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Again, balancing it out with the right of an individual to elect and to be elected upon, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Dahil paulit-ulit ko na lang po in-explain, pasensya na po sa ating kasamahan, na yung seeking or running for an office does not necessarily equate into an actual occupancy, Mr. Speaker. Depende na po yan sa kapangyarihan o right ng mga kababayan po natin, mga tao, na ihalal kung sino po ang sa kanila ay nararapat po na manungkulan sa kanilang particular na LGU, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you sa paliwanag. So ayon po sa ating sponsor ay kaya nilimitahan ang saklaw ng prohibition on dynasties sa mga specific jurisdiction, di ba? So, bawal ang dynasty sa loob ng isang LGU o kaya sa antas national, no? Pero kung magkakatabing LGU 'yan, pwede ang isang dynasty. Pwede ang isang angkan, in other words, no? So, kung gayon, sabi nga, ang magiging epekto nito ay pinahihintulutan ang isang tipo ng dynasty habang pinagbabawal ang iba. Diba? So in this case, the terms I will use will be something like extensive. Pwede yung mga extensive dynasties. Ibig sabihin, kalat, malawak. Diba? Province-wide, pwedeng magkaroon ng isang dynasty. Samantala, yung mga intensive, ibig sabihin nakakonsentra sa isang particular na LGU, for example, hindi pwede. Parang ganun ang magiging epekto niyan. Tama po ba?
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, these are hypothetical assumption, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Kasi pwede naman po may possibility po na mangyari po yan kasi nga po meron talagang kapangyarihan na tumakbo at iboto ng ihalal ng bawat mamamayan sa particular na LGU at distrito. At meron din pong possibility na hindi mangyari yan. Ang sinasabi po natin dito, ang clear po na hindi posibilidad ay yung mawala yung concentration ng power. Yun po yung very clear dito. And also, Mr. Speaker, kasi kanina po babalikan lang ko lang po yung katanungan ng ating kasamahan kung ano yung naging basihan. Minsan po ginagamit din po natin yung transcript ng pag-uusap at deliberasyon ng mga CONCON delegates po na bumuo nung ating 1987 Saligang Batas. Ito po si Delegate Noledo po. Isa po siya sa naging proponent po na ma-insert yung phrase ng anti-political dynasty sa Section 26 Article 1 of the 1987 Constitution. Ang sinabi po niya dito, and I quote, Mr. Speaker, ito quoted from the transcript. Mr. Noledo pointed out that the term prohibition does not actually mean prohibition, but only regulation. Ang sabi po niya. And he went on further. On whether he would agree that the right of suffrage should not be abridged and that the right to vote and to be voted upon actually derives from the same concern, Mr. Noledo agreed that the law should not infringe upon the right of suffrage that the right to vote and to be voted upon should not also be abridged. So ibig sabihin po, Mr. Speaker, alam po ng proponent nitong anti-political dynasty na itong sinasabi prinsipyo na may the right to elect and to be elected upon ay iisa po yan at hindi po natin po pwedeng iputulin na i-apply natin separately. So yun po yung pinanggagalingan ng basihan kung bakit inaalaw po natin yung pagtakbo ng bawat district, bawat different LGUs po, Mr. Speaker, ng mga kandidato, whether they share the same family name or do not share the same family name, because of the right for the right of the will of the sovereign people, which is through an election if they should decide to elect a specific candidate or not. It does not necessarily mean na pag ganito po yung mangyari, i-allow po natin sila, ay automatic lahat po sila mananalo. In fact, Mr. Speaker, in previous elections, marami pong tumatakbo na magkakamag-anak na magkakalaban, na hindi naman po sila talagang magkakasundo. In fact, different po yung kanilang partido. So, Mr. Speaker, experiences would also tell us that these hypothetical assumptions could probably happen. But what is clear, Mr. Speaker, is based on this proposed version of the anti-political dynasty, klaro po na wala na pong monopolya ng pamilya sa isang lugar, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the points made by the sponsor, gusto ko lang pong i-point out na sa actual, hindi naman po hypothetical yung mga sitwasyong binabanggit ko. Dahil meron na talaga tayong ganung mga tipo ng dynasty sa ngayon. Di ba? Yung tinawag kong extensive. Ibig sabihin, meron tayong mga political dynasties na matatagpuan mo sa ang magkakamag-anak sa halimbawa sa isang buong probinsya, no? Na nandiyan ang governor, tapos mga kamag-anak niya, mayor sa iba't ibang mga bayan, kamag-anak din yung kongresista, tapos maaaring meron pang who knows, meron pang senador. Hindi hypothetical yon, no? May mga ganyan na tayong tipo ng dynasty. Pero syempre, mas marami yung mga dynasty na nasa isang lokalidad. Di ba? So, actually, doon nagsisimula yung maraming mga dynasty, di ba? Let's call them the startup dynasties na makakaupo ang isa, tapos eventually yung asawa, magkakaroon na rin ng posisyon sa, let's say, sa LGU. And eventually, yung mga iba pang anak, kamag-anak, and so on and so forth, may also occupy other positions. And then, expand later on. Pwedeng ganon. Pero hindi hypothetical yan. Meron ng mga ganyan sa konkreto. Kahit sa kapulungan ito, meron. Pero syempre, hindi na natin babanggitin. No? Pero alam ng publiko kung sino ang mga tinutukoy natin. In other words, it's not a hypothetical situation. Real ang mga ito. Ang pinupunto ko lang kanina ay pag napasa ang batas na to, merong mga dynasty na yung mga extensive, wala silang problema. Hindi sila maapektuhan. O very minimal ang epekto. Samantala, may pagbabawal. Yung mga sinabi nating intensive, yung nakakonsentrate sa isang lokalidad, let's say, sa isang LGU, for example, or governmental unit. Okay. Ang gusto ko lang ipunto rito ay ganun ang magiging epekto niyan. And I will relate that to the economic factors, no? Na yung mga political dynasties naman, ultimately, nakadepende rin, no? In order to sustain and for a dynasty to thrive, may connection yan sa economic resources, di ba? No? And of course, mas mahirap na mag-sustain at mag-maintain ng dynasty sa isang buong probinsya kumpara sa isang lokalidad lamang. Hindi po ba? No? I mean, in terms of campaign expenses alone, obviously, mas malaki ang kailangan. No, kung ang pamilya mo ay maraming kandidato sa iba't ibang lokalidad, no? So gusto ko rin lang i-point out yon na the effect here will be, let's say, the law will have the effect of favoring families with more resources in general. Parang ganon. No? So, hindi po ba? Don't you agree, Mr. Sponsor, na merong ganong epekto dyan?
Mr. Speaker, again, yung katanungan po, these are all possibilities within the
Yes.
realm of possibilities. At ako po ay I agree na meron din pong mga pamilya na sa ngayon, sa kasalukuyan po, ay nag-elected to different offices and jurisdiction. Tama po yan. There's no debate about that, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Yung katanungan po ay would that favor, Mr. Speaker? I think yung bebasihan po natin that we want to explain na ang ating explanation sa ating kasamahan, ang pinifavor po natin dito is yung karapatan na sinasabi naman po ng ating batas at yung mga proponent po nitong anti-political dynasty nung oras po na ito po ay pinag-uusapan nila sa CONCOM, yung kapangyarihan po ng mga taong bayan na umelect ng kanilang leader. Yun po yung actually yung natin, no? Pinagbabasihan po natin. Very clear na po 'yan. Na-explain ko na po sa ating kasamahan, no? So, yung katanungan po niya whether or not may possibility, of course, again, there's a possibility. But there's also that possibility that it will not happen. Kaya nga po sa election, anything can happen po, Mr. Speaker, no? Okay. Wala ho tayong actual na result na po pwedeng mangyari. Pangalawa po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, parati po natin sinasabi ito, na itong panukalang batas is just one of the many solutions to the electoral related concerns and problems that we are facing, this country is facing, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Halimbawa, kung gusto po talaga natin ma-overhaul ang ating political landscape, yung mga electoral issues, Mr. Speaker, hindi lang ho ito masosolba ng anti-political dynasty. Kailangan din ho natin pag-usapan yung campaign finance, Mr. Speaker, because this will provide an equal advantages between and among candidates. In fact, mayroong panukalang batas po dyan regarding the strengthening of campaign finances. Pangalawa po, strengthening our political system, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Dahil unang-una, hindi po yung pamilya ang nagbibigay ng nomination sa isang kandidato. Ang nagbibigay po ng nomination ay yung partido. Ito po yung Certificate of Nomination and Acceptance. So, meron pong mga cases, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, na mga magkakapamilya but member of a different family. So, wala naman pong intervention, wala na pong influence of one family over the other, over a particular party in order to secure, Mr. Speaker, Certificate of Nomination and Acceptance. So, ang punto ko lang po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, dito is that the anti-political dynasty directly addressed the monopoly of power, while other issues, Mr. Speaker, related to reforming the electoral process, that can also be discussed with other proposed legislation. Anti-political dynasty should be paired with other electoral reform advocacies or other electoral reform measures, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker at Ginoong Sponsor. Well, ang siguro ang pinakapunto lang at hindi na naman na kumbaga natalakay na ito sa iba pang mga interpellation ay kaya maraming nakakapusan sa proposal na ito dahil nga napakalimitado lang o may isang tipo lang ng dynasty na may pagbabawal dito, no? Ito yung dynasty sa lokal, no? Parang ganon, sa esensya.
Meron po, Mr. Speaker, kung mamarapatin po ng ating kasamahan, meron po na may level of prohibition and restriction yan. Apart from yung sinasabi po nating degree of consanguinity and affinity, meron din pong vertical restriction sa national, sa local, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. So, yun po yung gusto nating ipaiwatig na it's not only about limiting within the second degree, but as to the level of offices as determined under this current draft, yung national offices and local offices, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
We understand that, pero even then, yung sa vertical ay meron pa ring nagbubukas ng pagkakataon because of the jurisdiction, di ba? No, so pwedeng walang problema kung magkapatid ay parehong governor ng isang probinsya, ng isang rehiyon, sa isang rehiyon, for example, di ba? Ganun din ang mga kongresista, no? Basta magkaibang distrito kayo, pwede na 'yon. Hindi po ba ganoon? No?
Mr. Speaker, palati po nating inuulit itong sabihin, and I know that I tire.
Yeah.
I bore my good friend, Mr. Speaker, with this explanation, but the only explanation we can provide you is that running versus actual occupancy is not are mutually exclusive. Hindi po parehos yan. Ang inaano po natin, mayroon pong karapatan kasi na bumoto at iboto yung ating mga mamamayan. At sinabi naman po yan sa ating saligang batas, sinabi rin po yan sa mga batas sa saligang batas at mga batas international na ina-accept po ng ating
naintindihan natin. Ang usapin naman dito ay pagbalanse ng right of suffrage, which as explained by our sponsor includes not just the right to vote but also the right
Tama po. That's correct po.
Essentially to run.
Yeah,
Diba?
tama po.
Okay. So binabalanse yon sa isa pang mandato ng konstitusyon na malinaw din, prohibition on political dynasties. Tapos ang sabi ng ating sponsor, binasa niya ang mga transcript, sabi niya, yung prohibition actually means regulation. Para tong forthwith, Mr. Speaker, no? That forthwith may not exactly mean that. Ganun ang sinasabi. Okay, sige, noted na po. Nasa record na yung mga ganyan punto.
Yes, kung mamarapatin
Ang debate natin ay nasa pagitan ng pagbabalanse nga, di ba? Sa version na ito, dinidiin ng ating sponsor, mas matimbang talaga at kailangan protektahan yung right of suffrage, which includes the right to be
voted
voted
upon, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
Meron lang po akong dadagdag.
Ang gusto ko lang para kumpletuhin lang, yung sa mga panig naman ng mga ilang nag-interpolate na narinig ko, nagbibigay din doon sa mandato rin ng konstitusyon na ipagbawal ang political dynasty para mabigyan ng lahat ng pagkakataon, which is also an infringement of the right of suffrage. No? Yun po ang punto natin. Ginoong sponsor. Tayo rin. Yung mga critical sa provision ngayon. Actually, pinaglalaban din naman ang right of suffrage. No? Kasi nga, the framers also included that provision with the view that dynasties actually infringed upon the right of suffrage. Nalimitahan ang choices, no? At nalimitahan din yung pagkakataon mong makatakbo, no? Dahil merong mga dynasty, no? Yun ang punto natin, Mr. Speaker, na actually sa ating advokasya para maging mas mahigpit ang political dynasty, no? Hindi actually ito paglimita sa right of suffrage, no? Kung hindi pagsuporta sa right of suffrage ng mas marami para mas marami ang makatakbo. Hindi yung ilan lang ang makatakbo at makaupo na siyang resulta ng ating sistema ng eleksyon at gobyerno ngayon. So yun po, in other words, Mr. Speaker, wala pong monopolyo ang isang panig sa pagtatanggol sa right of suffrage. Dahil tingin natin, consistent sa mandato ng konstitusyon, yung, of course, pagkilala at pag-uphold sa right of suffrage as one of the fundamental constitutional rights. Consistent yan sa mandato para ipagbawal ang political dynasties because nakakalimita ito sa pagkakataong tumakbo ng mas marami. Ganun po, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Okay, Mrs. Speaker, allow me to attempt at least respond to few of the points na nabanggit po ng ating kagalang-galang na kasamahan. Tama po yun na meron talaga pong constitutional directive na kailangan may anti-political dynasty na maisabatas ng Kongreso, Mrs. Speaker. At the same time, we also recognize na meron naman po talagang principle no, under the Constitution, the right to suffrage, to elect and to be voted upon. In fact, Mrs. Speaker, the reason why kung bakit po natin ito binabalanse is even mayroon pong ruling dito ang Supreme Court, Mrs. Speaker, the way we approach and interpret our Constitution. Under Civil Liberties Union versus Executive Secretary, Mrs. Speaker, ang sinabi po ng ruling sa Supreme Court is that no one provision of the Constitution is to be separated from all the other. So, meaning to say, you cannot interpret the Constitution in parts,
Yes.
but you have to read it as a whole. So, ibig sabihin, we balance the anti-political dynasty provision with that other provision in the Constitution, which is the right to elect, to vote, and to be voted upon. So, ang balanse po na ginagawa po natin to appreciate all these constitutional provisions and come out with a balance, Mr. Speaker, allowing the decongestion of power in one locality while also enjoying the freedom of others to elect and to run and to elect and to be elected upon. So yun po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, ang basihan kung bakit binabalanse po natin ito. Pangalawa po, Mr. Speaker, binalikan po namin yung transcript po nung discussion ng 1987 framers of the Constitution. In fact, 17 versus 18 po. Isa lang po yung kanilang difference at naging basihan kung bakit na-include na po yung anti-political dynasty dahil 17 po sa ating mga framers na ayaw. Kasi sabi nila, bakit tayo gagawa ng isang bagay o isang policy na magtatrample doon sa karapatan ng tao na tumakbo at ma-elect, no, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Ang sabi po naman nila dito is, in fact, Mr. Speaker, ang intention talaga nila is to decongest, binalikan po natin ang transcript po nila, ay para mawala po yung monopolya ng isang pamilya sa isang locality kung saan po pwede pong ma-threaten yung sinasabi po nating check and balances at po pwede pong mag-collide, may collision. Ang sabi po doon nila is a probable collision because of the proximity in terms of blood relation. That collision may probably happen to the detriment of the general public which they serve. So, yun po yung ating basihan dito, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, tungkol po doon sa mga points na ra-raise ng ating kagalang-galang na kasamahan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Sinenyasan ka na ni Deputy Speaker, no? Pero, let me just close this point by reiterating, no, na actually, tama kayo, dapat ang pag-interpret ng Constitution ay kabuuan. Hindi yung dinidiin ng isang probisyon na nadedihado naman ang iba pa o yung kabuuan. At precisely ang sinasabi ko nga na yung mga katulad namin at ilang mga kasamahan dati dito na nagtutulak ng mas masaklaw na prohibisyon sa political dynasties. For example, instead of second degree, fourth degree of consanguinity, instead of allowing simultaneous holding of positions provided in different administrative or governmental units, sa halip nito ay ipagbawal talaga, no, ang sabay na pagtakbo, no, ng mga political dynasties. Actually, ang ganitong posisyon, yung fourth degree at mas mahigpit, actually, yun ang mas magpapayabong, magpapaunlad at poprotekta sa right of suffrage ng mas maraming mamamayan. Yun po sinasabi natin dito. Dahil magiging mas malawak at bukas ang partisipasyon ng mga ordinaryong mamamayan sa eleksyon. no? Mas marami ang pwedeng tumakbo at mas marami ang pwedeng manalo, no? Hindi lamang ang ilang mga pamilya. So hanggang doon na lang po sabihin ko. I think nagkalinawan po tayo ng pagtingin dito, no? So in other words, yung ilang version dito ng anti-dynasty law, no, ay hindi dapat ituring na paghihigpit or restriction sa right of suffrage. Maaring prohibition or restriction on the right of suffrage of a few, pero mas na protektahan naman yung right of suffrage ng mas marami. Ganun po ang ating position dito, no? Now, let me move on to my other point and probably my final point in this interpellation. Kaugnay po sa elective positions as defined in the proposed bill. No, so binanggit po rito, President, Vice President, Senator at the national level, and then members of the House of Representatives representing a legislative district, and then number 3, Governor, Vice Governor, etc., down to the punong barangay level, no? Okay. Mr. Speaker at Ginoong Sponsor, conspicuously absent from this is with regard to letter Roman numeral 2, members of the House of Representatives. Ang nakalagay lang po rito, representing a legislative district. Alam naman natin po sa Kongreso, meron tayong members representing districts as well as party list representatives. So the very glaring absence in this bill is any mention whatsoever of party list representatives. I myself am a party list representative. No? So, bakit po wala rito ang party list? Bakit hindi nag-a-apply yung anti-dynasty bill na ito sa party list? Gayong, kung tatanungin natin ang publiko, ay isa sa mga pinaka-obvious para sa kanila na manifestasyon ng paghahari ng mga political dynasty ay nakita nila yung district representative nila. Ayan, nakaupo. Tapos yung asawa niya nasa party list. No? Ngunit, bakit ang bill natin ay tahimik? Parang as though walang party list at all. No? So, hindi po ba napakalaking kakulangan yan?
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, maraming salamat po at na-brought out po. Actually, napag-usapan na po ito ng mga previous katanungan ng ating mga previous interpellators. In fact, isa po si ating kasamahan, kagalang-galang na Representative Tino, na isa sa may akda ng Reform Party List Act. Ito po yung isang bagay kung bakit ang ninanais lang po natin is to set definition as to what constitute political dynasty in terms of determining the degree of consanguinity and affinity. Yung sa party list, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I agree with him na kailangan talaga pong magkaroon ng usapin pagdating po dito sa extension ng sinasabi, no? Extension could be an extension of power from one family to another by virtue of a party list representative. Pero ito po yung separate discussion po na maaari papag-usapan po natin. In fact, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, kasama po yan sa LEDAC priority nitong administration na ito. At part po doon sa pag-uusapan natin, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, hindi lang to strengthen, to reform the party list, including probably, Mr. Speaker, yung sinasabi pong political dynasty component that can also be addressed once we tackle, Mr. Speaker, the Anti-Political Dynasty Reform Act, Mr. Speaker, which, again, the good gentleman from the teachers' party list is also one of the authors, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Yes. Okay. So parang ang sinasabi po ng sponsor, Mr. Speaker, ay, well, isang tabi na muna natin yung usapin ng party list
hindi
when
po
it
yun.
comes to political dynasty.
It's not-
Pag-usapan na natin, hindi naman, pag-usapan na natin doon sa party list law reform
Yes,
bill.
kasi
Parang
Mr. Speaker, medyo komplikado po yung,
Opo.
yung pinag-usapan po natin ng party list. Ang gusto po talaga natin as yung ma-reform at ma-improve po yung party list, including that of the concerned of the good
Okay.
gentleman from
Okay, I understand that view. Pero pwede rin naman dahil nga ang sabi rito, this is a bill on prohibiting or regulating political dynasties. Pwede rin namang isama rito.
Mr. Speaker, Your
Lalo
Honor.
pa para hindi nakatali yung, kasi pwedeng mangyari, halimbawa na isa batas to, pero hindi na isa batas yung party list, di paano yan? Meron pa tayong, meron pang butas, di ba? At sasabihin tuloy ng taong bayan, ano ba kayo? Nagpasa na kayo ng anti-dynasty law. Iniwan nyo pa itong butas na to. So in other words, will the sponsor be open to already including party list?
Mr. Speaker,
In the definition of elective positions, in other words, including it in the coverage of the bill.
Mr. Speaker, again, I do respect and I understand the position of our dear colleague, but the reason why we have to separate the discussion and intensively discuss about the reform party list proposal, Mr. Speaker, is that in the case of the party list, it is not the electorate directly electing a particular candidate. It's the party that chooses their nominees, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. May mga experiences po tayo na hindi natatapos yung nominee ng party list ang panunungkulan niya sa Kongreso. In fact, Mr. Speaker, just recently, meron na pong napalitan. Kasi depende po yan sa pinapaupo ng organisasyon, party list organization, kung sino po yung papaupuin nila sa Kongreso, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. So yun po yung isang nuance or isang anggulo na tinitingnan po natin, Mr. Speaker, kung bakit Mr. Speaker, yung usaping party list, Mr. Speaker, ay tutuunan natin ng pansin at bibigyan po natin ng focus, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Para po sa kasagutan at assurance din po, Mr. Speaker, sa ating kagalang-galang na kasamahan, Congressman Pino.
Well, noted po yung sagot ng sponsor, Mr. Speaker, pero sa totoo lang, noted no, na ang kaibahan ng party list ay hindi sila direktang, yung nominee hindi direktang hinahalal ng electorate kung hindi nominated nga ng party. However, yung mga nomination, nakabatay at sumusunod din sa kanong tinatakda ng batas. At kung itakda ng batas na ito na kasama sa mga prohibition yung party list na hindi pwedeng magsabay, sa Kongreso, ang magkamag-anak, kung meron na sa district, hindi na pwede sa party list and vice versa. Kung nandun na yan sa batas, hindi na sila manonominate in the first place. Yun lang naman po. Ang punto natin, wala pong nakasasagabal at mas mabuti pa nga na isama na sa bill na ito ang party list. No? Para ma-address yung isa sa mga matagal nang puna sa party list system. No, na parang sinabi nila, nako, supposedly, para mabigyan ng puwang sa Kongreso ang mga marginalized sectors, pero ang nangyari ngayon, naging backdoor or extension ng mga political dynasties. Yan po ang one of the foremost criticisms of the party list system. You know? So, ito na po ang pagkakataon para ma-address yun. Kaya, again, mariin po nating inihahapag at iminumungkahi sa sponsor na isama na dito ang party list.
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, kaya nga po kung mamarapatin po ng ating kasamahan na pag-usapan po ang kanyang panukalang batas, Mr. Speaker, mas para po sa akin, mas maganda po na magpa-provide po ng other solutions when it comes sa mga issues na mention po niya. Unang-una, Mr. Speaker, kaya nga po kailangan nating i-reform ang ating party list at yun naman panukala at kasama sa LEDAC priority. Makikita po natin doon, Mr. Speaker, yung regular, kung may facility ba itong mga party list organizations, kung meron ba talaga silang duly constituted members, Mr. Speaker, kung how long and how often do they actually convene as a party list organization. Kasi doon po natin makikita, Mr. Speaker, kung ano po yung legitimate na party list organization na kung saan ang kanilang pong mga nominee ay talagang representante ng kanilang advokasya na isinusulong, Mr. Speaker. These are the things, Mr. Speaker, which I believe that can actually address possible extension of one particular nominee that has a relative sitting in the Congress, simultaneously, Mrs. Speaker, Your Honor, serving under particular Congress. So yun po yung tinitingnan po natin eh. Isa po ito sa mga possible na mangyari at solusyon sa mga problema po na nakikita ng ating kagalang-galang, issues na nakikita po ng ating kagalang-galang na representante from Congressman Tino. So kaya nga po minarapat po natin to have a separate discussion on this para po mabigyan ng enough attention po yung adhikain ng ating kagalang-galang na Congressman Tino na alam po naman natin na parte po ito sa LEDAC priority ng ating Pangulo.
Well, maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker. Nagpapasalamat ako sa sponsor sa very patient na pagpapaliwanag niya, no, sa mga nire-raise nating issue. Gayunpaman, bilang pangwakas, nais ko lang pong sabihin na para sa atin, ang tunay na pagtataguyod at pagdepensa sa right of suffrage ng bawat Pilipino ay ang pagpasa ng isang tunay at masaklaw na anti-dynasty bill. No? At ang ibig sabihin nito ay kailangan talagang ipagbawal, no, ang sabay at magkasunod na pag-upo ng mga magkakabag-anak sa pwesto sa lahat ng antas. No? Lahat, from national to local, kasama ang party list. No? At hindi po ito paglimita sa right of suffrage kung hindi pagtiyak, no, na magkakaroon ang bawat Pilipino ng pagkakataon na makalahok sa eleksyon bilang kandidato, hindi yung ilan lamang at pare-parehong mga mukha o pare-parehong mga pangalan, kung hindi maraming mga pangalan ang maaaring lumahok at maboto. Yan po ang totoong pagtaguyod at pagtanggol sa right of suffrage ay sa pamamagitan ng pagpasa ng anti-dynasty law na magbabawal sa monopoly sa pagtakbo at sa pag-upo sa pwesto ng iilang pamilya lamang. Hanggang doon lang po, Mr. Speaker. Maraming salamat po sa sponsor.
Very much, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to interpolate, I move to terminate the period of sponsorship and debate.
There is a motion to move to terminate the sponsorship and debate. There any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is carried. Majority.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading on House Bill number 8389.
There's a motion
As
to
amended.
approve. There's a motion to approve on second reading House Bill number 8389.
As amended.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill number 8389 as amended is now approved on second reading. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend session.
session is suspended.